At some point, this country gets to a position where you cannot continue to borrow without damaging the economy. It's just that simple. Americans understand it. As one man told me in Evergreen, Alabama, you can't borrow your way out of debt. But the President has refused to do anything to actually reduce the surge in spending that he has engineered. Nor have our Senate Democratic colleagues here in the Senate. The House proposed a sound budget plan that would reduce spending over the next 10 years and change the debt trajectory of America. But we spent almost $8 trillion here in the Congress since the Senate Democratic majority has passed a budget, 861 days. In fact, the Lewis and Clark expedition lasted 860 days. We've passed that now without having a budget. The rhetoric needs to confront reality. The President has given a number of speeches about creating jobs and reducing the deficit. But a speech is no substitute for a budget or for a detailed plan. The only plan the President has ever put on paper, the only plan that can be reviewed by the press, the public, and Congress is his February budget. His budget for next fiscal year, beginning October 1st, was defended a few weeks ago in the Appropriations Committee, calls for a 13.5% increase in the Education Department. His budget plan calls for a 10.5% increase in the Energy Department. I affectionately call them the Department of Anti-Energy, the Anti-Energy Department. The State Department is looking at a 10.5% increase at a time when we are borrowing 40 cents of every dollar we spend. How can this be reality? And now we're talking about $300 billion will just be thrown in on top of this to stimulate the economy again. Whatever he may say on Thursday night, on paper, officially, he remains committed to this budget plan that grows the debt by about $12 trillion and raises taxes by about $2 trillion. What it does is it increases spending and increases taxes significantly. But the increase in spending is greater than the increase in taxes. So the net result is that the President's plan makes the budget projections we have from the Congressional Budget Office worse than they would be if we didn't have his budget plan. America needs the confidence that only a concrete plan can provide. The constant threat of more federal taxing, borrowing, and regulating undermines confidence, certainty, and predictability in our economy, that which our economy so desperately needs. So this isn't a question simply of ideology. It's really a question of leadership. We need and have to grow the economy, not the government. We need to grow the economy. America needs a budget plan that recognizes a core truth. Our nation's strength does not lie in the size of our government, but in the scope of our freedoms, the creativity of our people. We need to focus on policies that unleash the enormous productive potential of the private sector. We need to focus on policies that remove instability fostered by really the President's refusal to put forward a coherent economic plan that will actually reduce debt, not make it worse, and that would end the threat of high taxes and improves conditions for our job creators. Instead of the failed tax and spend approach the voters rejected in the last election, we need to focus on policies that create jobs, not more bureaucracy, helping to steady the economy in these difficult, uncertain times. I know the pressure's on to just do something so you can politically say you did something. But that's not sufficient now. We need mature, strong, detailed leadership, a detailed plan that would put us on a path to a sound economy.